So welcome back. My name is Tolly Bryn. You're watching The Joy of Awareness. This is going to be another video on topical steroid withdrawal. This time I wanted to talk a bit about the mindset that I needed to develop to be able to overcome it finally. And for the first 4 years of dealing with topical steroid withdrawal, I had the mindset of just, I'm just going to have to wait it out. I had this mindset that I had basically poisoned my body and that it would take years for my body to heal itself. Or not even my body to heal itself, more like for the toxins to go out of my body. I didn't actually understand the body's capacity for healing at that time. It wasn't until the summer of 2019, and if you watched my other videos, you'll know my own story. If you haven't, I recommend going and checking out at least the first 2 videos where I go into my own story and what I dealt with and why I created this channel to begin with. But in the summer of 2019, I went south to Sicily, stayed with my father for a few months, and fasted hardcore for many months. The longest fast I did was a 10-day water fast, then followed with multiple shorter fasts and eating an incredibly simple diet in between. And this is how I healed myself of topical steroid withdrawal. Mind you, when I was going into the summer, I was still as bad as I'd ever been. I had a few months of respite, maybe a year back. That was it. Apart from that, those 4 years had been total hell. And I hadn't gotten any better at all. Things were not getting better by themselves. So what happened for me to make this gigantic mindset shift? Well, for me, it was, unfortunately, the fact that I had been pushed to the point where I was seriously contemplating taking my own life. And, as dark and horrifying as that is, I am thankful that I finally got to that point. Because I was at the edge of a cliff and I was like, I can jump off now, or I can turn around and see what I can do. And, before that, I had just been blindly walking towards the cliff. I hadn't been checking out if there were any other paths that I could follow or anything else that I could do. That's not totally true. I had been quite aware of my health for a while, and I was definitely trying my best to eat as healthy as I believed that I could. And I was trying out all kinds of different homeopathic remedies and eating lots of turmeric and licorice root and took valerian root to help me sleep and stuff like that. So I was definitely trying, and I was doing cryotherapy and trying to exercise a lot and getting enough sunlight and all this stuff, which is all great. Nothing against that, definitely not. Well, the homeopathic stuff may be a little bit, I think it's not a long-term remedy, but if it helps, then it helps, But in the end, I think we should be focused on trying to meet and find the root causes of any illness that we're dealing with and, cutting the roots. We shouldn't be trying to find things that relieve symptoms unless they're totally unbearable. And even then, only for a short period of time. But I believe that the mindset that I developed during that summer kind of moved away from some kind of weird collectivist mindset where I thought doctors and the medical system and establishment are responsible for my health. They screwed up and I didn't really trust them anymore, but I was still they should be the ones who fix me. And I was looking for the next big drug that would help me to alleviate the symptoms and overcome the withdrawal process. Excuse me. And when I went into that summer of 2019, started fasting, it changed like this. Like it changed from pushing responsibility for my own health over onto the shoulders of society and of the medical system, and taking it upon myself to just realize that I had way more power than I had ever thought before over my own health. And in fact, I was the person that was keeping me in bad health. And I think it's important to realize this, that no matter how angry you are at the doctors who prescribed you these medicines, and at the researchers who put out papers that don't go deep enough into the side effects and the possible bad effects of misusing these drugs, however angry you are at the pharmaceutical companies and at society in general for just turning a blind eye to the huge problems with allopathic medicine, however angry you are about all that stuff, you need to let it go at one point or another. And the sooner the better. And as soon as you let it go, you'll get a chance to start thinking really deeply about what is it that you can do right now to heal yourself. And it just so happens that I have just the solution. If you watched my other videos, you'll know exactly what it is. Fasting and a simple diet. And if you want more details on that, check out my older videos. But it really is as simple as it sounds, like just fast and eat a simple diet. But seriously, do it. It'll change your life and it'll heal you. But to be sure, you do need to develop the right mindset to be able to do this. And that is this mindset of personal responsibility. Seeing yourself as an individual, a powerful entity, an entity that can take responsibility for its own body and its own life. It's the most powerful feeling in the world. So you have to realize that you are so much more powerful than you think when it comes to health and when it comes to, everything in the world, basically. But for right now, we're focusing on health, because no matter what else you want to do in life, we need to be healthy. Health is the number one requisite, I would say, for building anything worthwhile and feeling good in life. Like, you don't want to be some billionaire who, is dealing with all kinds of autoimmune issues and just feels generally miserable because of bad health. Like, it's just not worth it, really. But if you can regain your health and get into a state of thriving, I think many doors will open to you, and you'll start to it just, I speak from experience, it just getting out of the vicious cycle of chronic illness, it just gets you into a completely different state of mind and being. And it's like you start seeing possibilities everywhere, and it's like, wow, so now I'm healthy, I can go out for a run now. Like, I can exercise, I can put on muscle, or I can learn to dance. Like, I learned to do the moonwalk. I could have done that, obviously, while I was dealing with TSW. It doesn't affect my ability to moonwalk, but it's more like the motivation isn't there. It's just like, I'm sick. Why would I do anything, really? And if you're dealing with this, you know what I'm talking about. It's just the motivation to really do anything just goes away, and you get much more susceptible to falling into all kinds of addiction. For me personally, it was video games, and at some point it was sugar, weed, definitely. Although, no, I was going to say that it helped me sleep, but in the end it really didn't, and it had more negative consequences than good. Oh, and porn was definitely there as well. Like, I was just drowning myself in easy dopamine hits, which I now regret. I do, but at the same time, I try not to regret anything, because what happened, what I went through, was what was needed for me to get to where I am now. And I believe that where I am now is a very good place to both create value for myself by, making these ideas more concise and more accessible and more understandable for myself and for everybody else. And that's why I'm making this channel. I'm trying to get out these ideas, as simple as they are. They need to be repeated, and they need to be developed. And that's really my goal here, is just to try to plant the seeds of these ideas into your mind in the way that I wish somebody had done to me, and which, probably somebody did do to me. Like, I'd heard of people talking about fasting and elimination diets and all this stuff, and it just takes a while to germinate. But if you do take these theories to heart, and I'm not telling you to just believe in this blindly. I'm just asking you, please just try it out. Like, really, you have nothing to lose. If you're dealing with topical steroid withdrawal, you have nothing to lose from doing as long a fast as you can. And even if that means, you getting very skinny, like happened to me. Like, I lost like 15 kilos in the course of 10 days. Looked like skin and bones. I was kind of a skeleton, but I felt better than I'd ever felt before, and I felt no negative consequences, even though I was definitely underweight. I wasn't going to stay chronically underweight. It was an acute thing, and I started putting on weight right away again, and healthy weight, I should say. Like, I started eating really healthy food that built up my muscles and fatty tissues from scratch, using healthy nutrients. And that's one of the keys. Like, you wanna trigger the autophagy through fasting, and then rebuild everything from the inside out. That's the way you're gonna heal. So that's it for this video. Again, like and subscribe if you get any value from this. If you want me to speak about a particular topic, then leave a comment below. I definitely am going to do my best to read everything that you guys leave for me. And I really want to just provide as much value and guidance as I can with whatever I have to offer, definitely. So don't be afraid to just reach out to me. We can even talk on Skype or anything if you want. I'm open to anything. So until then, just stay healthy. Peace.